Okay, so we need to get this cable out. It goes underneath this thing here. And there's something plugged in here as well. Let's just, yeah, I think I'm gonna pop that one as well. There we go. That. And there seem to be little screw holes there, but as you can see, this is not screwed down. Just gonna try and pull on it a little bit, because it feels like it's sticking at the bottom.
You know, it's almost like they don't want you to replace this.
So just so you guys can see, there is just a little plate with some chips underneath. There we go. I'm just trying to wedge it loose from the bottom, whatever holds it. It feels like just glue, but I don't want to be tough on it and break something. Yeah, there's some sticky bit down there. And there we go.
And that's called the digitizer, I believe.
You guys can see that. It's the bottom. So this was folded over like that, and that part there was plugged into the board below. Tiny little connector. So I think we're good to start cleaning up the edge for the sticky bits. You can see the old goo stuff on the edge here. We need to clean that up before we reinstall. Okay guys, so we've cleaned this up, and just to let you know what we tried, we tried vegetable oil. That didn't do anything. We tried nail polish remover or acetone. That didn't do much. And then I tried mineral spirits, which is something that you use in painting. That worked, but that would take a little more time than the thing that we finally got to work, and that is lacquer thinner or paint thinners. But obviously use Q-tips or earbuds, because this is very fine areas here, and you don't want to touch too much of the plasticky bits like over here and over there, just in case whatever you use eats the plastic away. So be extremely cautious. If you can, I'd suggest even not to clean it if it's not too grubby. Ours was very full of glue, little glue balls and gunky and stuff, so I had to do some, and I spent probably at least an hour on it, or maybe 2. It's a tedious job. I suggest you avoid it if you can. But this clearly has been opened before, and they haven't cleaned it then, so I had to clean it now. And afterwards I just went over with a wet wipe or a baby wipe and dried it off with a paper towel or tissue or something like that. Okay guys, I just wanted to show you the one corner on this thing is damaged, and with everything out I wanted to show you what the good corner looks like. Just look at the line between the socket here, it's a number 10 metric socket, and the edge there. That's a good one, and this one here is the damaged one. And you should be able to see here the difference. So we're gonna try and tap it out. I don't know if that'll work. So I just got a small hammer here and a punch.
Is that a center punch?
No. I don't know what kind of punch it is. It's a blunt one. Ooh. Anyway, that didn't work so well. A little piece broke off there. This is a very sharp edge, and aluminum doesn't like to be bent many times on the same spot. So let me just see if this will be good enough though. Yeah, I think the biggest part is out the way now, so I'm gonna leave it at that. So we're gonna just make sure to show you to test this thing before you put everything back together.
Because we've taken this thing apart and put it back together, what, 3 times now?
Yeah, I've done it a few times. Let's start with the digitizer screen.
Nice.
And you'll notice I leave the battery connector off the last. Next comes this guy, the LCD screen. And while I got it here, I just want to mention what you wouldn't have seen in our previous segment is that we don't cut this tape off or tear it up from the bottom of the back plate there. Because in our case it was already done. Somebody else has already opened this thing up before us, and I think it has two pieces of tape typically, one there and one here, so you might just run into that, and we obviously couldn't show you that because ours was already done. So anyway, this is plugged back in, and now I plug in the power, and the whole purpose of this is just to test it. So I'm just going to put this plate across here, drop the LCD across that, and these things are sort of sturdy. I wouldn't go rough with it, but you can don't be afraid to handle them. I'm just going to power it on, and obviously if your battery is low, charge it up first a little bit, or just plug the power cable in. Okay, you just have to push it, keep it in a few seconds, then that pops up, so that's a good sign. So LCD is working. You want to test two things. You want to test both the LCD and the digitizing screen. The screen is not just a piece of glass like I've stated before. There's actually a lot of circuitry in it, because it does the whole touch screen thing. So that's why all the cables are there, and there's a whole bunch of connectors on the side, and you want to make sure that when you slide it works, right? So it seems like we're good here.
Just test the passcode. Don't enter it, just tap the buttons and see if the passcode things line up.
Yeah, you can see there, cancel there. Until you see this, don't go any further. Find out what's the problem first before you go back and put everything back in and screw the rest in like we showed you.
So now we're ready to clean the LCD. First step is take it out of the case and put it on a hard, flat surface. We used white vinegar and a cotton ball to put it on, and then a tissue to take it off. So that's just cleaning up, and everywhere you put it. Thorough cleaning job, because you're not going to want to pull off the front panel once this thing's back in. So then we just take a no-lint glasses cleaning cloth and wipe in all the other spots. So now to move on to the front panel. Now you see that we're cleaning a thing that had plastic on it. That's because we peeled it off. So only clean the inside if necessary. And we're doing the same solution with vinegar. Dad's doing the same thing where he was holding it in his hands, then putting it on the table.
So we need to get this plate over that we took off there. This one with the 3 screws. And it goes like that. And here we want to just quickly show you, you can actually magnetize these guys, and I'd suggest you do it if you've got a magnet lying around. Aiden, can you just do it around there and just show them?
So just a household magnet, you know, but lying around.
And just a few rubs should be fine. Let's see. And you can see now it's magnetized. And these screws are so tiny that if you don't do that, it's extremely difficult to get them
where you need them to be.
Yep. So again, just don't force it, lightly screw it till it grips, because that thread is so fine. You can see it just sits there. There's just enough magnetism to hold it. I do have another screwdriver that's already magnetized, but I thought I'd show you just how to do it yourself if you don't have one around.
It's a neat trick. You can do it with paper clips, household office supplies.
And we're just about to do the last one.
So essentially you're done. The screen has been replaced. Now you've just got to screw everything back in, pull off all the glue, or protective tab things, and then hair dryer the glue.
And now I've forgotten which way this one was around, so it's got some cutouts, so we should be able to see. I think I need to slightly buckle it like that to get it in below. Okay, and now we need to line it up to the holes. That's good. You don't want to do anything on the top holes here, because they match up with these. The other end of this LCD screen has got two similar ones on that, so don't put any screws in those two this time around.
Right, so there are 3 types of screws. There are big, bulky ones, and there are 4 of those. They go in the 4 corners and they hold the LCD screen down. Then there are 2 tinier ones. The longer, tinier ones, there are only 2 of them. They go by the volume rocker. They go right here. There are only 2 of them. They are important. Don't lose them. They go in by the orange thing on the inside, and on the outside by the volume rocker. There are only 8 short screws for us, but you should have 16. So we just put 4 per side, skipping a hole every twice, whatever. So you'll see the hole skipping. Remember, you should have 16. Somebody took it apart before and lost them. That's the problem with buying secondhand. And then once we're done with that, fold the LCD screen back, pop it down. Now those 4 bigger screws, yep, use those here. And now it's important that when you put these in, you only twist them a little, and then twist the next one a little, and then twist the next one a little, and then the next one a little. You do this because if you don't, then there's a chance that the 4 holes don't line up. Like if you screw 2 in, and then the other 2 holes don't line up, you have to unscrew it. So do it a little bit on all 4, and then go around and tighten them all. And then test it before you put the glue down. Any fuzziness is just from the camera. It works fully in real life.
So here, just for coolness, Aiden wanted to test it with the digitizer not on the LCD, standing upright like that, and you see it works well.
I'm a nerd. Be quiet. I thought that was really cool.
You can see there's a tab there, a blue one here. These ones are caught below that, so I think we'll take that off last. Some blue ones over here. So I didn't grab those. Just the ones on this side, right? Don't worry about the ones on the outside. This one tore off when we pulled on it, so I'm just gonna take this knife to lift it up. Okay, try and follow the direction. See, these ones are very thin, they could easily break off. There's a piece there that we need to grab still. Let me see if I can get that one. Can you grab it, Aiden?
So is this glue gonna stick to stuff, or do we have to heat it first?
No, it'll stick, but you need to heat it afterwards. There's one more here. I think it broke off. The big one we need to get as well. That's the one on the screen. That's the tab over there. I'm gonna lift it so Aiden can get it. Oh, there's the blue one there as well. See that? Grab the blue one first. Slowly this way. Aiden's gonna grab this one. Pull it towards you, Aiden. Slowly. Whoa. Seems like the glue layer staying behind, so be very careful with that, guys. You need to get that as well. I don't know if you will be able to see that. This little tabby you need to get first. Just make sure it stays that side.
So after peeling off that plastic, we fold the digitizer screen over, and going carefully because we have a dent. So Dad's just lowering it slowly, grounding the bottom two contact points, I suppose.
You gotta make sure you do this right, because you only got one go.
Some of you may be thinking that you should heat it again so that it has a nice stick. And you can if you want, but we didn't because we didn't think it was necessary. But if you really want to, just hit it with the blow dryer again and it'll seal.
Final test. Looks well. Now the final peel off
Ah, this was satisfying.
of the outer protector. And there you go. That's a working iPad.
So in this video, we showed you how to replace the screen of an iPad mini. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye!
Bye.